Hello Blender folks, welcome back. So in this time there are 3 challenges here, and some are so there is this bendy bone spine which I was successfully with. It was a bit experimental, and there are new features that I had to fix before making this complete. So now it is working, I would say, yeah, perfectly. At least in what concerns the spine. And there were many things that I needed to solve. For example, actually the child of bone constraint for this bone was not good enough, because then what it did was that it took the rotation, inherit the rotation from this, so I could not, with child of bone constraint, use local space on orientation. So like it was, this kind of thing was happening, and that was not, so I had to change. And the reason why by the way the shoulders weren't moving properly, it was just because I had made the wrong parenting there. So the correct parenting is is this one, the big one, which actually it's it's one of the handles for the middle of the spine. Okay, so this would be for the starting of the neck region, but it's called spine 003, and it's 001, 002, 003, and 004. It is there. Okay, so this was another one I had to create, so I need to separate, but that I'll tell you later. Let me just show here what was happening with the limitation, right, of the child of bone constraint. So as I have it here, what's happening? For some reason now it cooperates, so not sure. Maybe it was happening because actually I was still parenting it to the, not parenting, I was using it to the wrong bone. Yeah, that could be that. The wrong bone would be, wait, did I just, oh no, it is hidden here. So I was in another layer, so maybe it was because I was using this one, so it was not a problem of the child of bone constraint. No, maybe I did some change to the rig where this well, whatever, I'm not using this anyways. I prefer to use this instead. So no scaling of the arms. Then I have those bones that control that. Here I had to make this is one of these, actually is the first one. So it has, now it is working as a hips bone, but I have problems with the legs, mainly because of my double I key bone constraint, and this is something I'm gonna try. I have serious problem here with the legs bending, so and this is very unfortunate. I might have to dump this entire rig for the legs, but I'm not giving up so easily. I will test some. I have a plan. Actually, and that is one thing I will attempt here. This will be quite interesting. And so what will that be is that I'm gonna make a full I key chain for the whole leg, but it will be a mechanical chain, and I'll try to control this bone, which is a master bone. I'll try to have some sort of and perhaps I can use that chain, new I key chain, that will be like a normal I key rig, right? But it wouldn't affect directly it will be like a ghost rig. Its functionality would be so that I can make this thing and sort of drag these master legs so that I can have the, you know, the proper so currently I can do that, but it's the what happens is this bone must be more to the bottom in order for the foot to stay. You see, the leg that is behind, it doesn't, the foot goes up, the foot mesh, not the foot master, but doesn't matter, the foot goes up because of course the mesh is the F key is pulling it because of this already, this I key bone here. There's inverse kinematics, the first one, then this is the second inverse kinematics bone constraint. And so the problem is that this motion here, that would be something very easy to do, right? That's expected on, as we push that down, the whole leg, this thing starts to respond, right? Because inverse kinematics, but because it starts here, this change, so this makes the whole leg move up. This, and then it pulls everything up, and so that is dramatic, because then in order to have this, I have to have this bone down, and so this is very delicate. You see, I cannot just put it down anyways, because this will deform the thing. Then I have to push this down, and the idea is that this foot, the foot must maintain into the ground. So there's something limit here with there's some space here, small space for change, and then I can do to some extent some motion here with the foot mesh standing stiff on the ground, which is ideal. But as I move too much down, then I have to replace that, and so this is and this is something from a modifier that a bone constraint that I'm not used to, and because I've made change to the rig, I don't know how to adapt it now. But basically I'm gonna try this I-key chain. It will be a third I-key bone constraint, but a more conventional one, except its functionality will be, I will try to manipulate these bones, these master bones, through the I-key chain. So because that I-key chain, the third one, it will sort of be a copy leg, right, in terms of bones, mechanism bones, and it will behave as expected in terms of bones. So if this bone can sort of follow that rig, that I-key rig, maybe I can make I can solve this thing without having to dump all this thing, or having to make more experiments in order to find a solution for that. And perhaps even the idea, even if that doesn't solve it, it might be possible that this idea of having a third chain of bones here, or actually this I-key chain here, it would help me with a new layer of bones. It will help me like having a better mapping for those bones here, the pole targets. Yes, that could be helpful. And I was thinking maybe I'm having so much trouble with this because I wanted to have a single pole target for each, and although it might be better, perhaps this is not the best alternative here. I should go back and make two, but I'm not gonna do this now. This would be too boring and too experimental. I'll go back to double targets, because then it will be, if I can control each of them independently, this thing could work better. But anyways, the project, one of them will be to see how this I-key chain will work. The problem is that it might not follow exactly the path of this leg, right? So I don't know, but even if it doesn't follow, it might be enough to have this thing automated in a good way. So let me show you some of the spine features that so I have this, okay, and I have, let me, yeah, this is better. And then also there is this, I can rotate the head here. I have, and something that was lacking that I needed to do was to make, actually this is for the neck. So this is stacking transforms to that, but doesn't matter. So now I have a controller for the neck. I not necessarily need to rotate here. It's more about this move, but rotation will solve certain things. And here the problem, of course, I didn't solve this yet, but it's working. The problem here, the real problem here, I can take off the bendy bones, yeah, there's a bendy bone there, the form one, and I can actually remove its segment, so the neck stop behaving that crazy. It's very hard to control that, and if I have just this one segment, well, it does stretches, it does some stuff, it doesn't get that strange behavior, but then it's a bit bizarre, right? So it gets ugly on some poses. So it's cool to have the segments, but then I still have to find a way to get this curvature better, and I've already wait, no, I could try something like that, yes. And so far, but this is not really important. The fact is that I have, it was what's happening here. This is quite complicated. Let's see here. So basically, this is the tip. I've changed the name. So now the tips, the ones that control the handles for the small bendy bone of the spine, they are called control spine, bendy bone handler, BBH. So this bone is here, and yeah, as you see, it stretched this thing. Then this bone is parented to the master head, which is here. Actually, it appears there, but this is custom shapes widget. It's actually here. I could move it, but then it has no parent, but maybe it has got bone constraint. No, so I use this bone as a way to manipulate the whole. It's like the fake Ike head. So this, the last handle, the mini handle, right, is it ends up being parented directly to that bone. However, and that bone has got no bone constraints. And then there is this bone, which is actually the mechanical bone. I'm not supposed to, it is locked. No, I didn't lock, but whatever. It is copying transforms like at its starting position anyways, with those target local space on orientation, local space, whatever, to the master head bone also. I don't even remember that. So what happens is that it will also help in following this thing. And what happens here is that this bone, the small tip, so it's like we have two hierarchies there in terms of parenting. I think it would be like that. So there is the tiny ones, the tiny bendy bones, that will lead to that BB handle for the small bendy bones, and it will both the def head bone and its control head bone, they will both be parented to the same handle, which is this one. And so as you see, and this allows me to separately rotate the head on any ways. And I can rotate the head, but the other part, the one that has got the mechanism for the big spine, the big B-bone spine, it goes another direction. Let's say it goes, of course it goes until here, where it's this has no child, no parent. I should parent it, but I don't know what to parent it right now, so it doesn't matter. I have to what but it works. It is of course the copy transforms to the master head, so it controls the large spine, but I cannot move it right now because of all that. But if I unlocked everything here and I take this off, you see what it does. It controls the large spine, which also manipulates indirectly the mini spines and other stuff. So, but I don't move this. Instead it keeps locked, and what is changeable, what can control it, is this thing actually, not this thing. You see, this doesn't move the large spine, just move the mini spine of the neck, and this moves the whole spine, which indirectly would move the small spines. So it's sort of something like a split, but not exactly a split in hierarchy. It's more in terms of the parenting, and maybe to one side, and then to the other side we have some bone constraints also that would take this role. So, and where is the neck? Yes, this bone that rotates, that can rotate the head, but they rotate the head because of the parenting, not because these things are parented to that. This is correct. 004. Wait. 004. Yes, exactly. Both are parented to that. Okay, so that I left this rotation, stacking, whatever, but the main function of that is rotate the neck. And of course, why not rotate the head through that? But then we can also rotate the head individually without the neck here. So this is stacking transforms, but we can just reset, so that's okay. And of course, we can also, so we can rotate the whole spine. We can rotate the head with the neck, change the neck to actually even without any rotations. Or we can even rotate, and then we can also rotate only the head. So if I don't want to rotate the neck for whatever reason, then this bone will maintain to... Here this rotation actually is important, because it will actually, it's a rotation of these things. So yes, it's a different rotation, even though it does rotate the head. And perhaps it's a good idea, I don't know, this would be optional, maybe we could avoid that, but that's the, yeah, that's the trick, whatever. And then let's see if there is anything here of interest, and then that's the last thing for this yeah, then here the contraption for the spine, I have to redo this. I deleted the master hips bone, which had this custom shape. So because it was getting too complicated, I've revised my previous rig before all those changes, and apparently this is what I wanted. It is working, except that the legs rig makes the knees move that way, and that is it's not really interested. But the cool thing here is that what happens here is that I can move the tiny spine, the bottommost spine here, with this. This will be a master torso bone indeed, but it's actually I'm just reusing the same bone, that mini handle here, mini, but it shows big. I'm so I can move, and actually what I did was that I've parented many of the bones of the legs directly to it. Usually they were parented to the hips bone, master hips bone, which was blue. No, it was green also, teal, and it was around here. But now this bone, because it is so important, because it becomes this sort of controller for the lower body manipulation. So I could create another bone just to be the controller, right, the master, and leave this bone as it is, like with a copy transforms. To, yeah, I could do that to simplify, and not to simplify, to make the rig more organized. But I'll do that later if ever I do that. And then there is the problem with this bone already, which I don't know yet how to solve, but this is not a problem for today. And then there is this, this moves only the lower, and this moves the top. Here I have probably to make another torso bone. This will be a less relevant torso bone, because you see it doesn't move the head. If we wanted to move the head, we pick this one, and then we do that. If we wanted to, so I have, but the cool thing is that it's interesting that I have a bone that moves the whole spine, or perhaps not the whole spine. Maybe it's lacking to bring up some. Yeah, this bone has some other parenting, I guess. It is taking that one, and perhaps it could take something from there too. I have to investigate, but it is working, the spine rig now finally, and yeah, this is mostly ready for a tutorial this time. I had minor things to fix, and I'm quite satisfied with this achievement. Okay, then the last topic that I would address would be bendy bone joints. So like this one, this is the only one that I have here for the knees. So actually it's pretty simple. I just want to make spline skinning for every joint. Well, at least some of the main joints of the body. The knee, perhaps the ankle, although I don't find it absolutely necessary. The wrist, although here, well, certainly the knee, probably the shoulders, the neck. Well, it has already bendy bone, whatever. So, and so that's, and the wrist maybe not, because there is this twisting feature, right? We can make it with twist bones. I don't have twist bones here, or just turn. Since I'm using bendy bones, I just turn the forearm into a bendy bone, even perhaps the arm bone, humerus, yes, bendy bone. Yes, my intention would be to avoid the since I can use bendy bones, if I can manage to make this twisting feature here, at least for the forearm, that will be bendy bone. And for that reason, maybe I don't need a bendy bone for the wrist. Although for the forearms, it will be spline skinning, so slightly better. For the fingers and all that, I don't think so. Too much detail, too minor things. But if I could make a test at some point. if the results are better, maybe in terms of skinning, then it could be good. So basically this bone, what is doing, it is align, I don't even remember, probably to this, and then it is, yeah, it's aligned, and what's happening is that, yes, it's bone roll, right, is aligned with that one, and then it has some adaptation there. It has got, in terms of parenting, it's parented offset to the thigh bone, and we can't parent it to here, otherwise if we do so, it will lose its stretch to bone constraint functionality. At least if we parent the same bone that it is this targeting. Wait, it is here stretch to, okay, and of course here it's better to keep it targeting the head of the shin bone. So it's like a split into the hierarchy. And I'm not sure, there's another technique in which there's a bendy bone spline that is new, so it has a handle here and handle here. In this case, I wanted to see if I could simplify. I made these two the actual handles. So as we transform them with the WikiRig, whatever, they will suffer the bendy bone will suffer this thing. So here it is start handle, the thigh bone, and handle the def bone. Tangent, it could be absolute, it also works, and those things that I never see doing any difference, I don't know why. But I leave that like that, maybe it has some functionality at some point. And so I have made tests, and actually with the stretch to bone constraint and the fact that it is a deforming bendy bone, yes, it is a deformed bone, that's why it has some mesh here, it does spline skinning, and it merges with the rest, and then it actually makes interesting deforms. I liked it better than if I unmade this. Actually we can make this, since this is one of the topics, right? Let me show you what I found out. So if I turn off, first I have to fix my contraption here. No, I'm rotating wrongly. All right, is that? Oh, that's it. Okay, so here it is. If I take off the segments, so currently we have these deforms, but let's do this and go back here. Okay, so not too bad, actually, interesting deforms. Let's now take off the segments. As soon as I add two segments, there are a lot of changes here, and I've made many tests, and definitively I was more satisfied with the results, even though I could adjust wave painting too, and of course this thing is refusing to collaborate right at this point. So here it has just, you see, it's there too much volume weight. Of course there's another problem here, which is not only the wave painting, but the fact that it also kept the stretch to bone constraint. So if I take this off, apparently nothing happens, but sometimes it actually affects, and this I'm not sure why this thing sometimes make a difference and sometimes not. But alright, so let's see here, and remember this is something experiment, so if it doesn't stretch too. Alright, so apparently for some reason now I'm not being able to see Why am I moving that bone? Whatever. This is not because of the belly bone. What's happening is because I'm struggling with this with the pole targets here. Oh, that was it. Okay, one part of the problem was that. Well, let's take this. So this is not working. Again, it's not making any difference, strangely. And then, so no spline skinning, and there's lots of things that that gets more difficult to rig, right? Naturally, and as soon as I add this, it gets more smoother, right? Smoother deforms in the middle, and adding this won't make much difference, right? This will be a question of more geometry, better wave painting, and some other perhaps, but I believe this renders in this case, in this joint, unnecessary the need of helper bones or corrective shape keys and something like that. I think this can, even though I need certainly to address okay, and there is this stretch to bone constraint that for some reason I think it might have to do something with the bendy bone when I switch them to one segment. It did something wrong with this. It's suspicious. I don't know why suspicious. I don't know why this thing. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't matter. Maybe it doesn't require after all. Oh, I see now. Of course, if it's inactive, as I move the bone, it could create some bad transforms. Let me check the parenting. Okay, so this is parented directly offset to the thigh bone. Okay, so it's not clear for me, but whatever. We're gonna make more of this, and we'll see as it goes. And now let's go directly for one of the challenge of the day. So one of the challenges I have read done was just to show the spine rig, right? The last details, and maybe I forgot something. And now we are going to make this spine. No, sorry. I'm gonna solve this thing because I have this double I key thing here. Why this is rotating? I think I've made something. Yes, there's something here. All right, but let me load just in case. We're going to start neat with a. Okay, so this got accidentally some asymmetrized. All right, so my problem with the I key leg bending is this: because I have these two I key bone constraints. This one, chain 1 and chain length 1, 2. This one is the target controller for this, so this gives me this possibility of joint pinning, which is incredibly cool without I key F key switch, and this allows for the leg. But there are a lot of difficulties to solve regarding posing, but it's doable. It's just that it requires other. But so far the gravest problem is not even the pole target systems that I will have to investigate later another time, but it's this thing. Usually when we have a character that can do that, yeah, I've already showed that in the beginning. So this bone needs to be down so that I can do this thing. The other leg go crazy because this bone is... Yes, but as soon as I go too far... So let's do this chain, this mech mechanism chain. I'll create it on this layer perhaps. Yes. So let's see which bones. Okay, let's start creating here. So I'll pick that bone and let's make a copy. Now it is parented to the same thing, that's fine. Let's change its B-bone size, and then let's make it a non-deformed bone. I will probably require to... Will I make a knee bone for it? No, we're not gonna make it. Instead we're gonna make an F key parenting. No, yes, F key parenting, but offset. Now I don't need to show this, I don't need to show this, and nor this, because I key bone constraints work this way with parent offset. The alignment. For I key bone constraint to work properly, some alignments are required, and in this case it could be necessary, since now this is the same, this will be the same I key chain instead of the other case. Each one was different I key chain of just one chain length. I could use the panel here, inverse kinematics pan, to solve this I key lock, but I want to make these alignments better. So to do this I will address the active bone here, and let me add screencast so you can see better what I'm doing. Then yes, Shift N to get the active bone. Okay, so now it considers that this bone roll is aligned. Okay, that doesn't make much sense to me, but recalculate bone roll. Yes, to active. Let's see if we do instead the opposite. Okay, it gets weirder. I prefer... Wait. Maybe I should do... Let me... Oh no, I'm destroying my... No, I'm not. I just have to move the layers for these ones. So move to that one. Alright. So this will be mechanism I key chain. This is experimental. Never done this before. I will attempt to not control the other. Yes, some sort of control the two I key chains with one I key chain. Something like that. Not exactly this, but this will give the idea. So this bone here is parented to... Okay, that is the same as this. This sounds adequate. This is not necessary. Yes, I know what I wanted to see here. I want to align this. So let's realign. Okay, this is aligned, and then I pick this one and I want to align with... Of course I don't want that. I want to keep it aligned here, but it's just the bone roll. So active, that's what it gave me, strangely enough. Okay, so we can start manipulating the... That's it, no more than that. I don't need... I might need a target and a new pole, but I'm not sure. Maybe we can do this with just this this stuff. So let's see what we can achieve here. Where is my... Oh, I moved the wrong bones. This go... Oh no, I didn't. They are just with the wrong appearance here, because I've duplicated them. So let's delete all that. And same here. Reset all those things. And change their color, otherwise I get confused. It will be mechanism, some sort of gray or teal, I don't know. Okay, then I'm gonna create a, let's see, what would be the idea here? Yes, this one for the foot will be the same target for this. Okay, that sounds plausible. So let's get, now where is inverse kinematics? Of course, now it gets, oh, it got the old ones. Let's delete all that stuff. Yeah. This also has inverse kinematics. So currently they are all at wrong position, but doesn't matter. Let's check this. Okay, inverse kinematics. Then of course chain length 1. We are used to that. Then we will target the master foot left. Okay, so now what happened to the size of this, the B-bone size of these bones? Where it is? Why it becomes so tiny? I have no idea, but okay, so of course this bone is doing nothing except following. The other is not working because it needs a chain length, and well, this is unexpected. Why? Oh, there's something wrong here. The with both targets, yes. Okay, so this is pretty simple, but for some reason it's not following. Does it need? It's targeting the foot, but it's not responding. It's active, chain length. When it has chain length of 1, maybe it cannot use the same target. It's possible. It is moving, yes, but it seems restrained. What could be that? No bone constraints, no features here. Relations, nothing special here. Inverse kinematics. Oh, yes. It copied all those things, so let's reset. Maybe that's actually not these ones. These are the default. Yes, maybe that. Yeah, that was it. Wow, if I didn't check those, I would never know for a long time. So very complicated to duplicate bones. You have to reset lots of. Okay, so this, and here we go. Now, of course, these I key locks may be relevant, so, but still not following here. Let's see, I key length is 1. Okay, that's why. Okay, so you have a mechanism chain which is respecting more or less what's happening. That is curious. Well, actually, because I didn't move this. Wait, why? Now this doesn't work. These bones aren't related. This I key chain has nothing to do with the rest of the rig. So why this stopped responding? As soon as I get overlapping I key don't work. Yes, I knew that, but on the same bones, now it is working. Now just because I have another chain that uses the same target, now it doesn't, some overlapping Maybe it's this parenting. Yeah, that's clear that parents, and let's see now. Okay, now it sounds okay, except that we need to augment this. Let's see if it stands okay. No, it fails. Wow. What is that? Is this a bug? It makes no sense to me. I've accidentally opened Discord. Okay, let's see. This could take some time to find out. Maybe it's this thing. The target cannot be the same otherwise, or it is lacking a pole target. Well, for the pole target, let's just make it at once. Will be that, and for now let's reuse this thing. The left one. I cannot copy this name. Why not? Here. Oh, there's the wrong. Here we go. And okay, so maybe it wasn't working because it was lacking the pole target, but I don't understand why this chain is sort of affecting the rest of the. Okay, this is bone constraint naturally. Yeah, there's why this other chain is affecting my rig. There must be some relation that I've. Okay, so this is parented to the. Oh no. I see, that was it. This is wrongly parented. It needs to be parented to the. It inherited the parenting. And actually I should change the names of. So let's do a Control F. Bones, and all because of those duplicates. Too many features to erase. Find and replace, set name, new, so mechanism bone, left, whatever, type, set name, that's it. 4 bones. Why 4 bones? I saw something about. Well, whatever. So this will be 5, and this will be shin. And now I can delete these numbers. There we go. Alright, folks, now I believe I can reparent this to that again, and we won't have any trouble. So this was probably, most certainly, why this was failing to work. So let's see, there's no pole, there is pole target, but now the pole target, okay, we can move that. And okay, so this was expected. This new Ike chain won't follow exactly the limbs, the real mesh, because it's a different calculation, but I can certainly fix this pole angle here. We can see that it should be 90 perhaps. Yes, something like that. Alright, so this is approximation. Now we see that as I move here, it needs some rotation in order to adjust itself. Yeah, it doesn't match perfectly. I could make this matching in a different way, of course. This gave me another idea, so maybe this I-key matching is really not that important, because I could take these bones, the spatial reference of these bones, to make some mapping rig to then do what I want to do, which, if in case you didn't see or don't remember, is that I want to have some way to drag this bone down in a synchronized way so that I can make this, maintain this foot on the ground without it going up. And for this I need, my idea was that now that I have this sort of I-key alternative, I can perhaps use this thing as a mapping system to put this bone having like not a copy location, but something like that maybe. Except I'm not sure. It's just it's intuitive and it is experimental. So let's see how much time I'm doing this already. 51 minutes. Yeah, that's a long time already. So let's attempt some tricks here. Okay, but the problem is that as I move this thing down. Okay, so the interesting thing here is that this, as the foot stays here, you see that this bone stays here, right? So it's like a ghost I-key chain that I can perhaps use as a reference for this bone to... Okay, the problem is what I can do with this. This bone currently has no bone constraints, so let's see what I can do here. Let's start with something very radical that is probably not gonna work, but let's start with a copy location towards the tail. Yeah, something more like that. Offset, yes, I would if I use this bone constraint, unless I use the end influence to some lesser degree, then this gets it free, but then it's very sluggerish to move, but it's sort of free. What is that is sometimes... Okay, so certainly I don't want to use it, it's too annoying to have this, but it's a less resource, right? So I cannot use this. Offset will make this completely crazy. It's hard to control this thing, and in this case particularly offset will be horrible, because then I'll have to have a starting position. Wait, maybe not that horrible. Okay, so is this the distance? I'll have to make it start here, and then it goes there, and then I can pose it. Okay, I really don't understand this offset thing, why, but it's useful. So it's copying the location of, and I can move it, but it doesn't, it sticks to that, right? So this is, so what will that do? Nothing, as well, not exactly nothing, it is helping. But maybe let's compare. The problem is that this compromise the starting position, right? Yeah. So as this one doesn't have anything like that, but the bone starts on... Yeah, this would be the starting position, so something like that. So let's compare. Yeah, this is actually worse, but what if I push it even more. This is not relevant. Okay, so copy location doesn't help, even the offset. Wait, now it seems to... Yeah. Except that it is locked. So it's kind of behaving not exactly as I expect, of course, but it seems to... Yeah, this means something. Okay, of course, if I wanted to bring the head too, I would do this. And this is something I need to... So it's, however, it is moving inside because the current position of the pole target is bad. The most important thing though here, I must see if this bone is staying in place. The rest doesn't matter right now. So this actually is important. So it's not just that this bone now is starting here on that location. It's also because it is slightly moving down as and then I can even make a pose like that, right? And that, and so all this, yes. So apparently my intuition was correct. If I made this bone reproduce some, and I can just parent it. I've tried. If I just parent it to one of these, it will move in the same amount, and this will not work. This is very subtle motion that I need here, and thanks to something like this, right? Not exactly the influence, but for some reason. Yes, because it is copying location, and it is somewhere here, it will move down along this bone, but this bone doesn't move down this way. Like it is moving, if you take this point, it is moving on a different ratio, right? If we track its motion. So this is a fake value of influence, but it helps things to work. And so you see the foot barely, this foot barely starts moving a little, and yeah, there are some point it moves, but then at this point we could probably do something about it. Yeah, I have enough motion here, and this does more or less exactly what normal key rig for the legs would be doing. And then of course if I rotate this, it will be better, right? Yes. Yeah, so I think I can save this rig, the double key rig. So of course I would like to make more improvements, but and maybe yes, I don't want to keep this copy locations too, and furthermore it's not offset. Well, but then it doesn't need to be offset if I have this thing, right? But then this thing is really bad. What if I change the influence this way? Let's reset. No, then it starts too low, but let's give it here. I'll try some stuff. We'll see what is. You see, yeah, it's moving, but it's moving. It's not offset, but yeah, let's put it offset, and now let's put a maximum influence. Okay, go down, go like here maybe, no, not here, no, it really needs to be here. Where is offset? Is it offset? It needs to be, yeah, somewhere like here. Why it doesn't go to the tail exactly? The tail is here. Well, doesn't matter. Let's see what happens now. No, not enough. I would need to do something else maybe. That is too much. Yeah, offset is too complicated. And that takes off a lot of possibilities that I have. And then, wait, what about this? This is looking better, I guess. So reset. Let's rotate here. Let's try now the foot. It's a little up, maybe because this needs to be somewhere like here. And now currently it goes beyond. The offsetting is taking it offset from even the target bone, so this is bizarre, right? World space, local space, target. Maybe I could do something like that. So let's see. Owner target. Now target world space. All right. And owner local space. Let's see. It will go to there. Not good, not good. Yeah, better here, and maybe here local with parent. No, never mind. Local space, never mind. So world space, whatever. Let's try again. Yes. Don't worry, this is normal. This is another contraption just for a special feature for the foot that I will show you right here. I've already shown another. This will allow me to make a special operation without any advanced foot rig. I can do that. Pivot, actually it's not to the, yeah, I can make pivoting from whatever. We can do it anyways, don't need any advanced foot rig for doing that. But because of this double I key leg, if I did that with this, without this bone being able to move up, like with this sort of thing here, which makes them stack the mesh, it's horrible. But if I didn't have this thing, I wouldn't be able to push up this thing without yeah, I would, this bone will push the leg, everything's up or something like that, and then or push that one also. In resume, I wouldn't be able to make this because as I move this, the the leg moves up and everything moves, I can't keep the thing at the same spot. So it's a choice that I've made, right? And I figured out a way to, strange way to get it, a workaround, right? There's a lot of workarounds there. This is crazy, total madness, but it's funny, and it kind of works, right? It's just that it requires a lot of optimization. Okay, I don't need that right now. Where were I at? Okay, I was making experimentation with the copy location mode constraint. Let's see how much time do I have yet. I didn't give any specific time for this. This is already 1 hour and 5 minutes. I think I'll give myself another 30 minutes in this experimentation, but I feel like I can find, I'm already nearly, I found some conclusive things that this can work. Maybe not because of the double I keychain, but my intuition was more or less correct about what could be done for this thing. So it's just that what would be the best approach for that. And something that I should be doing probably is just hide all these things, because we're not gonna, unfortunately I don't think we will be making more, how do you say, bendy bones joints in this case. I'm too focused on this particular setup here. But we'll do certainly for the next time, I hope, because it is something I'm longing for doing, this adaptation here everywhere. Bendy bone joints. And so, and I could try the two methods with spline, with individual splines, or reusing the bones that are, yeah, could do both ways. Okay, I'll save now this as it is, and I will make how do you call it? Yeah, I need to hide that one also. And I make a selection sets here, so it will be leg rig for the left side, and assign these bones. So now I do not have any issue with that. Okay, let's continue. I don't know why this is what's happening there. It started to happen after I've added these things, this chain. Okay, so oh, actually the even this tracking is wrong. It is the Mac thigh. Wait. If it's copying the location of the Mac thigh, why it is why it is in the place of the def thigh? Clearly it's following the, but this is the target bone. This is really weird. Maybe it's because of the offset. Yeah, this is certainly there's certainly some. I think I'm making Blender crazy with my ideas. Let's unparent this. Maybe this is some root cause of the craziness here. Let's get this thing. Let's. Okay. Now yes. Wait. Head and tail. Yeah, so I cannot move it. Let's see what happened here. No, terrible. This is not. Okay, the problem of course is now that there is not that parenting, I lose the motion of this thing. But what if, now this is very dangerous, because this is the, I cannot use, now this is the I-key master, I cannot use this bone as a target for whatever constraint here. This will be dependency loop. Yeah, so this is why I'm using that one. But since now it is not parented, it doesn't respond to this, and so it's useless. So maybe instead of parenting, I could make just a copy location, right? Copy location bone constraint to, of course, this bone is on the middle, so it's not that bone that I need to target. I have another reference there. It's not, yeah, I have a bendy bone. I need to check. Okay, I'll have to find it out. So it's here. I think it's not ideal, but this bone is here. This bone is, okay, let's get it there, but then this will make the wait, why don't I copy location of it exactly there? The copy location is for that. It doesn't mean rotations, so why not def type left? Would that thing make it go insane? Local space with owner orientation. It will start to have it will start affecting the yeah, there starts again this craziness. World space. Yeah, no, cannot do that. So we're gonna use whatever. I could create an additional bone for this thing, but like a buffer bone, whatever, that would track this point and parent anything, so it wouldn't suffer. Maybe that's the best thing we can do in this case. Let's maybe if it stops making bug thing, maybe that would be the good idea. So of course I need to have this bone yeah, I cannot parent it. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. There are a lot of constraints that I cannot do. Cannot parent, cannot bone copy locations. Well, never mind. Let's just get it to. Okay, first, is it parent to anything? No, it's not parent to anything. Okay, then does the issues there of mysterious, yeah, it still occurs. So I don't remember that happening. Maybe it's nothing related to that. Maybe it's just some strange behavior, I don't know, because of whatever. So yeah, let's skip it. Let's do that thing, whatever. Let's simplify. Let's do as it was before, like that. Keep offset, parenting, okay. Then, where is my, okay, I have to get here just in case. We'll split that and we gonna get the selection sets. We select this and there we go. And here we look for the bone constraints. That's it. So I was attempting with the offset, right? The copy location and offset, which was actually a pretty bad idea. it was better with this sort of influence here, which allowed me for, yeah, except that this being copied, yeah, now there's the apparent bug, it is going to the wrong bone, right? World space. Okay, so let's not use this then, finally. Let's see if there is other way. Okay, first let's get this thing back to its, what would be its original position. Alright, something like here. Now that's fine. Okay, let's see what else can we do. So maybe if this bone could be taking this transformation, no. Track 2, no. Child of. Now this doesn't have offset. Yeah, there don't seem to be much choices here. Copy transforms, no limit distance, limit location. It's just some sort of following, but not straight following. There are nothing be like the copy location, right? Yeah, that's it. This is stuff. I could go with a transformation bone constraint and avoid all these things. It would be like a driver. It will be a way to have this bone move in world space, whatever, or maybe in alignment with this bone. Always in alignment with this bone, so it will always be somewhere like let's see. I'll try this in a moment, but I'm curious about this feature here. What does this represent? If this bone keeps sliding, so there be like it apparently, I don't know, there is a threshold. Well, the threshold is related to the rotation. So for example, if it was here, it would need to be as close to the knee as possible. It has to do with this orientation, with the orientation of the bone in relation to the so this is something about, okay, so it's sort of as it stays close to the knee, things are working. That's an unexpected finding, right? But why does that happen anyways? Whatever. Does it have anything to do with the pole target? Well, currently the pole targets, are they parented to anything? Yes, this is parent to a whatever, to a mechanism bone that I have to revise, but let's see. if I try to, I've just found something that is the key to solve this in a more elegant way. So it has to do with the position of the, if it was tracking the position of the knee, I could probably do all this motion here. But as soon as I of course, if the foot is not touching the ground, first of all, it doesn't. It's difficult to understand, but yeah. All right, I was. No, it's nothing to do with that, because this is not necessary. This won't move the pole target. It's not responsible for, wait, it is how the pole target can make the foot move up in this case. Because of its rotation, lateral rotation. Okay, just pulling the mesh in some structure, but this is not what is making this. This is completely different. So this won't like make the, wait, how this, yeah, there's a limit to this is slight, and this occurs on very ridiculous changes, right? So this is why I was looking at this region particularly, because it's not something about this, it's about, so this must work as if it was a pole target. Actually, why not use this also as a pole target to one of my... Okay, so I believe this thing, after this finding, this contraption will be unnecessary, because I think I have better ways to track this down. So let's just delete these things. And unfortunately I was already changing this, so I have to... Anyways, I have a backup for that, so it doesn't matter. So apparently these must start as if they were knees. But the first thing I want to do is... Let's see. And this gives me clues of a new starting position for this, because then I can... I wasn't understanding this thing. Let's see if this now responds to anything. Yes, there is some change here. Here we see something that is the stretch to bond constraint is doing, but so it is real. I didn't say something wrong, but for some reason it wasn't occurring all the time. Alright, so it could be that this... Okay, let's use this as a start position for this. Is it accurate? Yes, it is. No, it is not accurate. I need to... Oh, it's the wrong bone, actually. It got totally on the wrong side. Yeah, I've mapped totally wrong, so it's... This is the right, it must be on the other side. So this would actually go there, and now they swapped position. Great. Yeah, this is getting interesting now. So I think I would be able to save this rig. yeah, this... I really thought that this was the dead end for this double... No, the rabbit hole, it's deep and it offers some interesting possibilities for the ones that have enough time and disposition to invest in this craziness. What I would recommend you, if you learned something, like if you like rigging, yeah, do experiments. But if you like, if you know something about the rigging add-ons like Rigify add-on and its feature sets like Cloud Rig especially, but also the other ones, and you know how to make the workflow to, and you could remake, keep making the features you want and remaking and remake, like regenerate feature all the time, and keep adding bones to the rig, and then someone told me the vertex groups, they don't get destroyed, so you can preserve these things, and so you could make experimental rigging with that. This is something I want to try out at some point, but currently I'm possessed with making this rig functional, this custom rig, and I've been particularly successful. This is a great achievement here. Okay, but it's not completed. Far from, not too far from it. Okay, so this start position is better, and it allows me for, okay, let's, no, I don't have the head bone, never mind. So now as I approach here, as I see, there starts to be difficult, right? It starts to be difficult to get a good posing here. This is happening. Why? Yeah, don't mind that. That is that bone that has got, that I need to figure out. And if I can't figure out, I should just avoid using this bone constraint. Okay, so here it's still deforming badly, so well, this stretching shouldn't be occurring first of all, so let's also keep this bone in our selection sets, assign. Do I have other things here? Yes, perhaps. I've loaded and I've lost my selection sets. Okay, so I'll have to redo that. So let's first just take this off and hide these and hide all these. These are not necessary. This also not necessary. Then let's pick these ones. Only one side please, here, not this bone, and let's see, only one pole target, that's it. Let's get here and leg bending, leg left, whatever. I key, leg bending, okay, assign and select, that's it. That bone, yes, let's keep it for now here. Okay, so this time I have this bone, and why not having wait, this is because actually I would need to do this with that one. That's right, so I hide this, I unhide, I make this selection, I make this one, maybe, well, we'll keep that, but let's remove if I ever need it later. Okay, so then this doesn't move the head, but then I can do that. Okay. So now you see the deformation doesn't happen, and apparently things are working well. I can make this crouching. The deforms are bad there because I haven't completed that rig anyways. But what interests me is this region. So here there's lots of problems happening, and I need to check my pole target. Are they using the same or another pole target in this case? The same pole target. What now if I get this bone more to the front? It will drag the leg up, so we can't do this. But pushing it down is beneficial, at least until this thing gets in relation to the ground that way. So here we need that. Let's see if I can. Yes, this was rotating badly apparently. The problem is that since they are using the same, and this is probably a mistake that I've done, let's do the following. Let this bone be the pole target of this. I think this is it cannot use its same, but this one maybe could use it, but then it will lose. Yeah, this is not a good pole target position for, but at least it wouldn't cause that bug, right? Let's see. Is that so bad to have that pole target? No, it's actually better. It looks better. No, hold on. What happened there? Yeah, this is the right leg indeed. Yes, it cannot touch. As soon as the mesh touches, it starts rotating badly. So I wish I had a mask here, so okay, so why it keeps moving up there? Oh, was not touching. All right, it was too high. And then at this point I need to get this thing really close, but then it starts to become dangerous. So this is a pole target. Sounds good, but then it's dangerous. It's get pretty dangerous. Must be really accurate motion there, otherwise. But it's kind of better in other sense. And I really have some trouble here that I'm not understanding properly how to manage. Yeah, lots of mystery on this rig, but if we reset the poles, we can test it again. Okay, now of course in this case this must be kept here. Okay, that said, I could use this instead as a mapper for a pole target. And so what could I do? So for example, if I copied that, I'm already using this one, why it is, so this for the knee, pole targets, I'll have to give them different names. So this will be pole target pole type, no, type pole. the original one, and this will be the shin pole. So let's are they properly named? No. So this is to be shin pole right and shin pole left, and they are control bones. Yes, I call them control bones. So thigh pole, shin pole. Yeah, actually like this would be better. This has got the old name. Now yes. So what I intend to do here. Which bone is parented to which? I don't understand this. Oh, they are both parented to. Okay, time's up, but I'll give myself an additional 15 minutes because this is getting very interesting. If now the time ends, I'll close this and keep working, and then perhaps we'll have to return another day. It's already too long. But that's it. Experimenting is, especially with rigging, is takes some long. But this is progress, folks. So this is not. It was worth it. Okay, I need the mechanism bone, so they are parented to that, and maybe I'm not keeping this. Well, let me keep that, not for the new one. Okay, so the shin pole, I mean. So my intention here is to put it there as a starting position, but immediately what I want to do, I'll parent this. Is this crazy? No, it's not totally crazy. So, and then I will add a copy a copy location and move it to somewhere like that. And word space, yes, that's enough. Offset, well, since I'm using this rotation, I won't need to move the bone individually. I hope. Is that working? Well, thigh pole. Wait, what? Where is the? It's still using the. Okay. So now let's use this instead. Let's see now. Okay, this looking, I don't know, there's some strange motion going there. Didn't I realize it, or is it because of this parenting is wrong? Maybe this parenting is not supposed to happen. Let's see. No, it's still having this lagging deform. So I'm not sure why is that, but it was not the parenting, and some clipping of image that I'm afraid what would that be, but well, this really works, but I didn't check for other motion. Okay, so this is dangerous, so I cannot. Why would I move this leg here anyways? I don't know. Maybe I should get this pole target a bit further apart, something like that. Maybe this is safer. I'm really not sure right now, but let's make the test now, the test of time. Okay, so as I move that here, I need to move that up. This is bone constrained. Let's see if yeah, so it is actually safe provided it stays in front. It's not so much think of for this one, of course, because this in parallel to in relation to the shin bone, it must stay in front. So actually that's why I cannot move this back, and there would be no reason to move it back. So it must always be in front of the shin. So, and where I was having trouble was because in this case the pole target for this must stay in front of this, and so you see they make some sort of different squares, right, or rectangles of cubes of space, right? So they don't match exactly. So using the same pole target will probably cause trouble. That was what I was doing, and for most cases it was working or something like that. But this sounds better now. I think I'm keeping this thing. And for the parenting, well, let's do the parenting to the is that the root? Yes. So root parenting, and this I'm keeping the old contraction for that one, but why it is not responding? Why it is starting there, by the way? I have to check here what's happening to that bone. Oh, because I'm changing the... Okay. So what's happening here is the following, folks. That thing needs adaptation here. It has its dumped track to that, but now because we're not using, because this bone is staying down now for most of the time, or it cannot serve as a spatial reference anymore for this thing. I can still use this contraption here, but I need to change the way it works. So maybe, let's see, stretched. Okay, this will keep. Does this have some sort of copy location? Yes, let's make something like that. Since I was using it, dumped track. You see this is parented. Yes, parented offset. But what I can do here is the following. I'll make a copy location, just as I've done before. Copy location, and I don't need the dumped track. Maybe I will need later, who knows. But the copy location, so it will be somewhere like here, like something like there, and then workspace, local space is that, does that make any sense? No, that's horrible, so let's keep workspaces. And then yes, because this bone has some, the problem is which kind of, let's make some random pose here. I don't remember which is the... Okay, it needs to be in front of this leg, right? Never. Okay, that's a mystery. Does it matter if it stay up and down? No, it doesn't really matter the height. What matters is this frontal orientation to that, right? And so this is why now this bone, this whole thing doesn't actually need this kind of motion, right? It actually needed only this thing, maybe. I'm not sure now, but I think I can really simplify this stuff after this finding, at least for this rig. So I could make a big risk here if I just deleted everything because it's getting annoying. So let's make a, so this will be, let's change this name. Actually, let's first save. This will be 15, and we are gonna change this as backup, the name, but we are working on 15. And so in this case I will, yes, I'll delete all that. This was before when I was trying other things, so maybe this, since this bone won't change much, I can probably, it doesn't have one constraint, maybe I could use this as a spatial reference for this one too. This is risky, but it could work, so let's do something like that. Let's again parent it to the root bone, and let's get back here. I need to differentiate this now this is control type. Okay, so the way to do this will be to, well, here it doesn't, it won't respond to the size, so let's go back here. Let's use the, just change the custom properties, right? I'd really like to change the color, but it's a control bone. I don't want to make change on this sense. Where is the viewport display things for the bone? Oh, it needs to be on pose mode. Okay, and so this is, yes, where it is. Sorry folks, this needs to be addressed. Alright, so let's change the scale to 4. So now we know this is the, for the type, a bigger one. So alright, so it will also copy, but I want to make it, perhaps this is the case where I want it offset, because I don't want it to be, oh, a copy location only to, okay, found it. So what we're gonna do is that starting position will be somewhere like here, and then it will receive a copy location, but this copy location of course will be adapted first regard to the tail this far, okay, and I don't want the word space, well, here I'm not sure, but I don't want the z-axis to be copied. Do I want the x-axis? We'll see right now. What if I have the x-axis? Oh, I have some automation here, just as the other, except that it doesn't copy the z, so this means that, yes, it stays in place. This is bad in terms of automation, but then this is also bad, so maybe I could do another, yeah, I could make a double copy location. Now this will do the same thing, except let's a very slight influence, so it keeps, wait, this is too low influence. Oh, let's put it inverse. Is this? No, it's not about inverse. Okay, the tail. It's not the, is this the Z? Yes, it's the Z that was lacking. So this was 100% influence, and this is just a little influence. So what happens here? For some reason it should copy. It's not copying as I would like to. Okay, this is fine, but the vertical, it's because of word space stuff probably. Z-axis, so target local spaces, Z-axis, not inverse, copy space, there you go. So these word spaces and these local spaces, let's see if this doesn't get it going mad. If I make these rotations. Alright, yes, this is kind of I don't know if that rotation now needs to rotate the foot. This is optional. Let's not delete, just hide this bone constraint here. So if I, just in case if I need to do something like that. Yeah, so as the leg goes, this thing goes here, then of course this thing needs to go backwards, right? And this is the danger of having a unique, now this controls to do, so this is complicated. Now I start to have limitations here. This is why I require to have like an orthogonal bone like this. Really? Alright, whatever. For this automation, yes, it is working, it's just not fully automated. So as we get here, I'll require to have these rotations. But then as we see, wait, I made some changes. Yeah, the fact that it doesn't have offset here that is locked is dangerous. So maybe I should not have this at all. And for this bone, maybe I should just parent it to here. So what we'll do is that as I pose this bone, I can still change its height. So if I were to do something like that, but it's just the Z and it's world space, so it's not, so I would have to change even this bone constraint to local spaces, right? Then I'm not sure what it would do. What if now it respects its starting Z-axis, right? Okay, this is better, but that would mean I will have to make a lot of, no, not a lot. Okay. Let's look for the other. Yeah, I should be careful about some rotations though. What's happening here on this angle? It's hard to see. I think I've rotated this bone too much. Normally to do that, these copy locations on local space. Yeah, I shouldn't do that because now it is locked. Or I could manipulate the influence, something like that, right? This means that as it gets this transforms, I can still pose it, although very bad way, but that's an interesting feature of the influence. Maybe it's something like this will be, wait, what just happened here? Alright, let's see now for the big challenge, which is when we get the leg to go back, which is very okay. It's not too hard here. Yeah, kinda. I risk to say that this is actually better than before. It's much more stable. Yeah, that's much more satisfying, although it still takes some. Yeah, here I have some limit rotations, which on that pose for some reason didn't allow me for the proper rotations here. So I don't know what happened to this foot, that it got some it got inverted, right? No? Okay, so yeah, this thing flipped. The color of the foot normally is... No, I cannot take this as a reference. Okay, so maybe because of local space, I don't know, but if I take, it was locked, so I couldn't do some simple movement, so this was pretty bad. So I don't know about this, I'll have to be careful. Yeah, this was huge amount of progress, and I'm satisfied that two of the challenges for this thing I was able to, for this live streaming, I can totally use this for animation. Might require some more tweaking, but it's details. This is already very good. I wasn't expecting to be that successful, folks. I can actually probably make a rig for this double I key legs and this automation of the pole targets regarding this rig particularly, and the foot and the spine. That's quite rich content, folks. Of course, I would like that would it possible to have this automated, like by Rigify add-on, like some of these things done this way? That's something I'm curious about. If you know something about this, I'd like to see if this could be reproduced by already existing features of those add-ons. This would interest me. But that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the excessive time, but that was, at least for me, I hope for you too. If you watch just the parts that are interesting, at some point I want to give the timestamps, but I'll wait until I have enough followers to give automatic timestamps. And that's it, folks. See ya tomorrow, perhaps. Bye. Have a nice day or night.